afternoon. Good afternoon, students, faculty, Father Gill, Ms. Pinkowski. Thank you very much. I appreciate you paying attention. I do want you to remember where you are. Okay, we're celebrating all of the participation of our 8th graders, and we're doing it in church for a reason, 2 reasons. It's a big enough place to be for all of us, but it's also all of the students' service and all of their activities are offered as a prayer. So remember where you are, okay, and your behavior should reflect that you know where you are. Okay, and please listen. We're going to have Ms. Pinkowski do our introduction, and then different teachers and moderators will come up to recognize 8th graders. Now this is only about 8th grade, okay? Only about 8th grade. So if you've done some things, don't fret. Another time that will be acknowledged, but this is for our 8th graders.
So as Ms. BJ said, this is an afternoon where we have set aside this time to see, understand, and really appreciate the gift that 8th grade class has been to our school community. They have really enriched our school in so many ways, giving back their time, their talent, their caring, and their support. So you're going to be able to hear about some of those things from the different teachers that they've worked with, and hopefully it inspires each of you going forward to want to get involved, to also be able to give back to this community. So on that note, we will begin.
I don't know how many of you know this, but every morning, without fail, 180 school days of the year, there are students who raise our flags, our American flag and our California state flag. And they do it without ever being reminded. As a matter of fact, they remind me sometimes when the flag is supposed to be at half-mast or there's a special occasion. They are responsible, they exhibit wonderful citizenship, and so I would like all of you to understand who's been doing that all this time and who will be doing it for another week or so. So I would like the following students to come forward, please. These are 8th graders Mariana Espinosa, Lauren Boo, and Donovan Keller. And once they get here, and they are in the process of making sure that we have someone coming up from the 6th and 7th grade who will continue with this wonderful responsibility that they take so seriously. So Lauren, I want to thank you. And Mariana, I'd like to thank you. And Donovan, I'd like to thank you. So of this group of 3, we have 2 scouts in our group, and they take their responsibility for citizenship very seriously. And Mariana may not be a scout, but she has a scout's heart. You know, she really realizes how important it is that we think about the good of our country and the good of our state. So once again, give them a round of applause. Okay, now this is for all of 8th grade, and I know this is going to be a little bit difficult, but this group of students is dedicated to service. And you may say, oh, Mrs. BJ, that's not very important. They have to do service. There's a certain amount of service that they have to do as part of their religion class. But if you looked at my list of the service that 8th graders have done, they go almost to a person above and beyond the 10 hours that they're required to do in 7th grade and in 8th grade. So what I'd like to do is I'd just like to mention some of the kinds of service that they do. So 8th grade students, I'd like you to stand if you've participated in the following. If you have helped with Dishes for Dollars, please stand. Be seated. If you have participated in any way with Sandwich Builders, please stand. Be seated. If you have participated in parish service, whether it be All Souls Day candles or putting things, organizing things for Father Gill, please stand. Thank you. If you have done service for your sports community, whether it's collecting donated items or working in the field snack bar for free and not eating the snacks, please stand. Thank you. If you have worked maybe with a nursing home or a senior center, I know we have a student who did that for quite a few hours. Can you please stand? Thank you. Thank you. If you are a person who volunteered to be a CIT either at our summer camp or another summer camp, please stand. Thank you. If you have supported a food bank or donated food for the poor in any way, please stand. If you have helped our environment by supporting Heal the Bay or any beach cleanup activity, please stand. So you see, those are only a few of the social, parish, or school service opportunities that these students have put their time aside for. And again, I want to make it clear. Yes, they've reached their 10 hours, but they have gone beyond to a couple of students who have in the hundreds of hours. So as you grow and you come to 8th grade, I hope that service becomes part of who you are, and that you can follow in the footsteps of this wonderful class. In all, between 7th and 8th grade, they have done 2,876 hours of unpaid service. And as the students have just turned in some essays to me that were also required, there was one quote in a couple of the essays that I thought was really important. And you may think of service as bringing stuff or packing stuff or donating stuff, but this is a really important quote for all of us. It says, "Service is what prayer looks like when it gets up off its knees and it walks around the world doing good." So thank you for your service, 8th grade. And I would like to bring up Father Gill. He has a special person he'd like to recognize.
I want you to know how holy I think the class of 2025 is. They help and smile and kind of effortlessly do things. From a lot of our ushers who are back here during the masses, they hand out books, or afterwards, many of you will help them pick up programs and all of that. But there's one special service that's really important. It's that of altar server. And we have quite a few altar servers here. We have one from 8th grade who served a long time. But sometimes you think, oh, just helping the priest, so it's easier for the priest. It's a lot more than that. It's really about creating this space to welcome people, to welcome you to celebrate Mass. And sometimes we have funerals, and the place that's created by the altar servers and everyone that serves kind of gives a big embrace to someone who might be crying and be very sad because someone's died. Or weddings. There's a really fun people celebrating all that. So altar serving is very important. So I want to encourage you, if you've ever thought about serving on the altar, it's partly helping Father Gill and Father Mark, but it's helping give a hug to someone who needs a hug often. Sometimes it's about just being present for others. So our 8th grade altar server who is graduating, and we hope to continue to see her serving here. Mariana, would you please come forward as we offer you our great thanks for your service.
continue, I'd like to ask Ms. Masterson to come forward, please.
Good afternoon. I wanted to share with you that one of the ways that you can share your love of Scripture and contribute to the life of your faith community is to take the time to be trained to be a lector at our Sunday 9:30 Family Mass or other liturgies. There is one 8th grader who has responded to this call, and she's always taken the time to prepare, and she demonstrates that preparation with an understanding and an expression when she proclaims the Word of God. Whether asked to read at a grade level liturgy, the 9:30 Sunday Mass, or for liturgies at Christmas Eve or Easter, Dawn Salazar has always said yes. We appreciate her contribution of her time and her treasure, and we hope that she continues to share this gift as she begins the next chapter in her academic and spiritual journey. I invite all of you to consider taking on this role when the next school year begins, and we will have lector training for grades 5 through 8. So Don, please come up and be recognized. Now there's another role that can be taken at our school liturgies, and Father Gill already mentioned these people. There are 4 8th grade students who have consistently guided us at our school liturgies. They welcome students into church, they pass out green books you might have forgotten to bring, and they let you know when and where to receive the Eucharist. They also stay behind after our Masses to pick up any forgotten green books or any forgotten items, sweatshirts. We appreciate their willingness to act as shepherds for our students and our community. Please come forward as I call your name. Bond Wayne, Sarah Eskandar, please hold your applause. Sarah Eskandar, Hara Iliopoulos, and Nano Montes. At this time, I would like to turn the mic over to our next presenter, Mr. Finton Heine.
Hello, good afternoon. Many of you, especially in the younger grades, probably know me as the camera guy, but I actually do a lot more than that for the school and the parish. I handle all the marketing and am involved in planning and organizing different events and activities and managing special projects. Many times I interact with the 8th graders when I need help completing tasks or working on a project. And the students I'm recognizing today are not being recognized for a single club or activity. They're being recognized because they are students who stand out as leaders and people willing to step up and help with huge smiles on their faces. Sometimes it was as simple as standing up for other students or giving support to their classmates, but it has had a strong impact and has caught my attention. They've acted in service of the school, the parish, and their peers on broadcast, at the festival, at Spring Sing, at the middle school socials, at the 8th grade Yosemite field trip, at school and Sunday Masses, and many more activities. Please hold your applause until the end. Will the following students please come forward to receive your certificates? Dylan Campos, Mariana Espinosa, Sloan Johnson, Leo Manubins, Bond Wayne, Lila Darno, Sarah Eskander, Hara Iliopoulos, Bella Carragher, Donovan Keller, Riley Kunkabal, and Lauren Booth. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes to give back to your community. It has not gone unnoticed.
I'd
like to bring up Coach Anthony and Coach Josh, please.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having us up here. Since this might take a little bit longer, we're going to ask everybody who played in a sport to come on up. If you played in a sport throughout the year, come on up. Guys, so we thank you, grateful for that. A couple of the championships that we won over this year was girls volleyball, boys basketball, baseball, golf, various golf events. So we've been very successful this year and in past years. But what we ask for most is our sportsmanship and our Christian values out of these students. And we try to get them to understand that that is more important than winning. Winning is secondary. Being a good sport and representing your family and your school is most important, and we wish you the best in doing that in the high school. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you to our coaches, and thank you to our student athletes. Now, sports is not all that we do at St. Paul's. We have an amazing fine arts program, and I'd like to have Miss Newton, Miss Crump, Mr. Casey come forward, please.
And I'm not sure, is Miss Chelsea here? I know she was going to try to make it. I guess not. Okay. But she was going to be here. She's here in spirit. So, good afternoon. We are so proud that as these graduates move on to their next journey, they are taking with them an appreciation and love for the performing arts. The 8th graders receiving recognition today have not only loyally dedicated their time and talent to the musical theater program, but they've done so with an open heart and great enthusiasm. Graduates, please come up when your name is called and stay up here until every name is mentioned. And this is a little different because you can applaud. We love that in theater. We can applaud after each name. For 2 years of performance, Mariana Espinosa. For 3 years of performance, Lila Dharma. For 3 years of performance, including 2 summer shows for a total of 5 shows, Lauren Boo. And for 3 years of performance, including 2 summer shows for a total of 5 shows, Miette Spillane. So graduates, as you prepare for your next big chapter, I'd like to remind you of some important words from Newsies that just might help you on your journey. Courage cannot erase your fear. Courage is when you face your fear. Now is the time to seize the day. We can't wait to see what you do next. So whatever happens, let's begin. Thank you and congratulations.
Now, our dear debate coach and leader, Miss Alessi, is not feeling well, and so she's at home. And Miss Danielski is going to come and present our recognition for our debaters in 8th grade.
Good afternoon. Ms. Alessi asked me to deliver this most beautiful address. It is outstanding. I can say that as a writing teacher. Please listen. Debate affords students an opportunity to develop a research-based understanding of complex and controversial issues of the day, form positions, and articulate those positions persuasively. But in addition, there is an opportunity to develop empathy, a trait necessary for leadership and essential in both public and private life. Debates and the polarization of views that they often engender can seem pointless without the hope of a resolution, one that can only come about through the recognition of differing views and a willingness to collaborate and compromise. Debaters are not only asked to consider diverse perspectives, but their argumentation requires analysis based upon logic and reliable sources. The Stanford National Forensic Institute website quotes F. Scott Fitzgerald, who said, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." Debate strengthens that ability by asking students to consider all sides. Appreciating what the world looks like from another's point of view fosters perspective, humility, and empathy. This skill applies to the classroom, to the boardroom, to politics and public policy, and to our everyday choices. So to the following students, to Maria, James, and William, thank you for daring to join debate in 8th grade. You had the chance to help analyze and craft positions on both sides and learned how to skillfully dismantle opposing arguments. You learned the importance of research-based sources and the necessity of listening before responding. I have witnessed growth in each of you and commend you for your achievement. To Lila and Kekwang, Masters of Persuasion, thank you for your years of dedication to debate, for mentoring younger club members and providing examples of the rewards hard work can bring. You researched topics on the way home from Yosemite on the bus, on your phones. You were willing to debate that next morning despite losing your breakfast on the sidewalk and having to change teams 5 minutes before call time. Lila, you participated in a round judged by an attorney who was convinced he had seen the finest student debater at a Berkeley tournament weeks prior until he judged you. He called you the LeBron of middle school debate. I congratulate each of you for your achievements. As you continue on your academic journey, be ever mindful of your role in the pursuit of social justice and be strengthened by the prayer of the late Pope Francis, who said, "Let us give thanks for the lay people who take risks, who are not afraid, and who offer reasons for hope to the poorest, to the excluded, to the marginalized." Thank you. And I would ask Maria, James, William, Lila, and Kekwang to come up and receive your certificate.
I'm looking for Mr. Mr. Ho. Mr. Ho, would you like to announce the yearbook council, or would you rather me do it? Where are you? Okay, I'm gonna do it. All right, our yearbooks are masterworks. It takes a whole year to make a yearbook. It takes a lot of people to make a yearbook. And Mr. Ho organizes those students, and then they organize each other, and they follow through to produce something that a lot of us will keep for a very, very long time. I know in the library there are yearbooks that have some of us teachers looking way younger than we look right now, but yearbooks are a treasure. And so I'd like to bring the Yearbook Council that has worked hard to put together a yearbook that you'll see in a week or two up to the front. So can I have Eva Magone, Miller Gunderson as our representatives, Mariana Espinosa, Alex Griswold, Bella Carragher, Riley Kumpable, Rowan Lal, Lucas Lee, Massimo Pisani, Luke Velasco, Lauren Vu, Harlow Walton, and Kekwan Zong to come up front, please. How many hours do you guys think you put into the yearbook? Give me a ballpark. Like 20 each, 100 each, how many hours? Okay, so about 20 each. So up third graders, second graders, and up, do the math. 20 each times this number of students. Lots and lots of hours. So let's show them again a round of applause for their hard work. Mr. Agabao to come up, please. He has a presentation to make as well.
Okay, hi everybody. Mine's pretty easy. For the upper school, recognition for outstanding music contribution. Our student started out as a 7th grader, actually, which kind of gives it away. But I noticed right away the student was really, really inquisitive about instruments, about bands, about songs. You know this band, you know this song? What kind of guitar is that? What was that piece you played last week at Mass? That kind of thing. I talked to the student's parents that fall, and I remember saying, I think you guys have a musician on your hands, so just be ready. Get ready, because I've seen it before, and I know what it looks like. Sure enough, this person went on to contribute to all of our school events. Christmas pageant, the Spring Sing. I gave the student parts to play on the keyboard and the guitar and the bass, which I don't believe they'd ever played before, but figured it out in about a week and a half, which is pretty incredible. This student played a central role in our music council, working on things like songwriting, improv, composition, and music theory. And then also this music basically served as our TA in our music class during our group instrumental activities with guitar and piano. Basically another hand to kind of wander around and help beginners kind of get up to speed on the various skills on the guitar and the piano. As an 8th grader, pretty incredible. So the person we'd like to recognize for outstanding musical contribution is Bella Carragher.
Talk music all the time. We have very similar tastes, but she's made me open-minded about some things that I haven't listened to. So, Bella, you'll be missed by me for sure. Okay, now the next one, Mr. Neary is not here right now, and if you don't know Mr. Neary personally, it's probably because you don't stay at after-school care, or he hasn't had to speak to you on the yard, on the kickball or soccer field. But Mr. Neary leads our after-school care program. And he wanted to recognize 2 students today who have gone out of their way, when asked or not, to work with some of our smallest kids, some of our kids doing their homework, some of our kids who need refs to solve problems on the yard. And these 2 students I'd like to come up and be recognized as well. Leo Manubins and Hara Ilyapoulou. See, all the things that go unnoticed, but we notice them. All right, the last person is me. Probably a little sick of me by now, but the leadership of this school is not only about Ms. Pinkowski, Ms. Balf, myself, Father Gillen, the teachers and TAs. It's about student leaders. We have elected members of Student Council. There are 10 of them, led by our fearless leaders, Leo and Blake. We have representatives from different groups on campus, whether it's Arts Council, Yearbook Council, Broadcast, et cetera, et cetera. Together, Leo, do we have 24? 24? It's about 24 people, I think. So what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to, and hold your applause till the end, I'd like you to see who these leaders all are that go behind the scenes to help the coaches, help Mr. A, help Ms. Lewandowski, and all of the other councils, Ms. Oliver, for example. So if I could have elected student council, current elected student council that are 8th graders, come up, please. Hold your applause, please. Now, there is no way that these 10 people could do all of the jobs that are involved in Pi Day, for example. Bake sales. They help with all kinds of things like in and out. They're on the announcements every day, bar none. They are there to help when any teacher needs help, and they do it with a smile. They do it with spirit. They problem solve, they communicate with others, they're critical thinkers, and they set goals. Joining them are the representatives from our different groups. Could I have those representatives in 8th grade please come forward? As I think about our SLEs, our school-wide learning expectations, I see people who are academics. I see people for others who respect themselves, they give help to others, and they care for all of God's creation on a daily basis. They're spirit-filled above all. They know their beliefs and their faith. They recognize that Jesus was an example, or the best example of service. And they participate in our school community and in our or their church faith communities. All 3 SLEs are embodied in this group of students. I would like you to give a round of applause for our student leaders. Elected student members will be recognized on Friday at Mass in a more formal way when we initiate our new student council and again officially thank the student council from this year. But for now, they're getting a small token from our school that hopefully you will wear on your graduation gowns as a sign of your full year of service. Personally and professionally, I would like to say a big thank you to you all. In-N-Out lunch wasn't enough. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Now, in closing our event today, as you saw, our 8th graders were involved from the beginning of the day throughout all of our events to the end of each day, helping in ways that sometimes they They might not have even received a thank you because they have that expectation of service. Our people in sports and musical theater form communities. They rally around each other. They practice sportsmanship and all of the qualities of good character. That's because that's what we do at St. Paul's. That's what your families do at home. So whether you're in kindergarten all the way up to 7th grade, we hope that you are, on this day, inspired by what you've seen today and aspire not to become exactly like our 8th graders, but to find yourself participating in things that you enjoy, that you know will add to your parish community and your school community. So I'd like to thank you for being here. And Ms. Pinkowski, do you have any extra announcements? Anything else? Father Gill? Okay, we're good to go. So let's give a round of applause for our graduates. Okay. Not quite the end of our day, so you're going to be returning to class, returning to your homeroom. 5th through 8th graders, don't forget whatever you left outside at lunch. And I'd like to have our kindergartens on either end lead the way. 5th grade, if you'd like to go out the door closest to you, and 7th grade, if you'd like to go out the door closest to you. Fourth grade, if you'd like to lead out the center door. Sixth grade, when you're ready,